Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Did everybody do okay changing their clocks? So, so you can see in the title today, we're going to talk about transition nutrition, which is something that some of you might have heard about before. I don't think I made a video about this, but I talk about it a lot, so you might have heard it somewhere, from me. But before I get started, I like to talk about why I'm qualified to discuss these things. So I was actually in the hospital years ago, and I learned about the idea of using food as medicine years after that. And it just gave me a lot of empowerment and a lot of strength to do the things I had to do. It was just something that I really latched onto and really found a lot of strength in. So I wanted to be someone that could pass this along to other people. And so I became a health coach. And, I wanted to be that person that could pass, like I said, all this information on and just hand resources over to people that needed it and wanted it. All in my journey, it was more of a gradual use up time kind of experience, which was fine for me, but I want to be that shortcut that can take you from where you are with your health to where you want to be, in a much faster way. So yeah, that's where I became the health coach that I am, and why I want to share this with as many people as I can. Because along my journey, I also discovered just how powerful food is and how we can all take advantage of all the benefits that it provides. And, it can really, my biggest goal is really so that a lot of diseases that people deal with don't even have to occur. I mean, there are ways with a healthy enough lifestyle to reverse diseases and symptoms, but if we didn't have to deal with them in the first place, I think that would be even cooler, don't you? So that's where I am. I also, along those lines, I created a course that is a self-guided course that allows you to either add more plants to your diet or go fully plant-based, whichever you're ready for on your journey. And I will post that link down below, because I think a lot of people understand why they should add more plants to their diet, or why they should, if they're ready to fully change their diet, but they're not really sure how to do it. So that's what I created, is a course that really helps, how to make that happen. So back for today, the idea of transition nutrition. So the challenge that I just had a couple of days ago, I talked about transition nutrition. And so it is a tool that I use, that I share, that I talk about a lot. It's a term that I coined called transition nutrition. So in a nutshell, basically it's just actively making every time that you eat, whether it's a meal or a snack, a little bit more. Sorry, I'm getting okay. So I was getting a message saying that my internet was wonky. So anyway, it's just a way to take every time that you eat, whether it's a meal or a snack, and make it more nutritious. So you think about where you are with your diet and where you want to be, or things you want to add to your diet, and then you go up that continuum. So, and you can go as fast or as slow as you want. Every time you eat something or you ingest something, you add more whole foods and take out processed foods, if that makes sense. So the example that I share a lot is, for instance, if you're used to eating meat, then maybe you want to switch to Beyond Meat, which is a plant-based version of meat. And then maybe you get to a point where you don't need any substitution, and you can just eat a meal without worrying about where that meat portion of the plate went. So that's just one example, but it can be anything. And the great thing about this is nothing can affect the way that you kind of react to this, because it's a gradual change. It's not like a cold turkey kind of thing. So your busyness never affects it, because you choose how fast or how slow to go with this. Your taste buds can never object, because it's the food that you already eat. You're just tweaking it. And your family, if you're feeding your family, won't object to it either, because it's not like I said, it's not a cold turkey thing. It's food that they're familiar with. You're just making tweaks to it. So yeah, so let me just check over my notes. I think that's about it. And yeah, the other only thing I wanted to mention is the idea that the biggest stumbling block, I think, with this is that a lot of people get kind of stuck in a rut with wherever they are with transition nutrition. The idea is that it's a continuum that never really ends. There's not really necessarily an endpoint. It's you might always, at any point, you might read an article or want to add something more to your diet, or you watch something that inspires you to do that, or So you can always tweak this to go, even a healthier version of, like, anything can be healthier. So, yeah, it never really changes. And that's not really the goal, is to get to an endpoint. It's kind of, just you're always kind of moving in the direction that you want to go and changing things accordingly. But that's the biggest stumbling block I see, is that people kind of get into a rut. It happened to us too when we first started doing this. You go to the grocery store and you find different brands that you want to buy or different things you want to buy, and then you just kind of go on autopilot. Every time you go to the grocery store, you get those same brands and those same products. And the idea of this is to, however often you want to, you kind of stop and say, is that really the best thing I want to buy? Is there a different version of that, or is there a better version, or things like that. So that's the biggest thing, is just don't get stuck, keep moving, and have fun with it. And you can go, like I said, you can go as fast or as slow as you want. And internet is okay. If you have any questions with any of this, then reach out to me. I'm on lots of different our Facebook group, The Benefits of Eating Plants. I definitely encourage you to join. And if you want a link to that, let me know. We share lots of information on there, and you can ask questions there as well. So if you want to ask the whole group, or if you want to message me privately and just talk to me, we can do that as well. And if you're watching this live or on replay, then go ahead and comment if there's something you think I missed, or something that worked for you in this realm, or something that you want me to cover in a future video, because as I always say, I want this to be as useful to you as possible. So if there's anything that you want me to cover in the future, then let me know. So until then, though, I think that's about it. And until next week, have a beautiful and colorful day. Bye, everybody.